Let's talk about rollers. So, the first thing to know is that you can throw a roller with any disc. Does not have to have the roll attribute. Uh, what the roll attribute does is the disc will roll further than one that doesn't have that roll attribute. And so you'll see the glide roll ride in a lot of top players' bags because one, it's a long distance lawn dart, and two, it's the longest roller in the game. And I believe that's still accurate, although some of the newer molds with the tailwind may actually roll a little bit further. But the glide roll ride is still a favorite disc among the top players. And to practice throwing rollers, you can pull up one. We'll use the glide roll ride in this case. Hit the little I button and then take a test drive with it, take you to the test range. And of course, there's two basic kinds of rollers, backhand and forehand. Uh, and to get the disc to go fairly straight up a fairway, you need to aim off center about 30 degrees or so. And with the backhand, you need to go to the left. So we'll go over here about 30 degrees to the left and pull down until the top says roller. Now, up top, if it says hyzer, that's not going to be a roller. You're trying to throw a air shot, a very low air shot. So the first thing you check if you're intending to throw a roller is make sure it says roller up top. And you can adjust the release angle to a severe cut roll to one that's pretty much straight up and down. And let's throw this one, see how she looks. We'll come down a little bit more, about to here. See if we can keep this kind of in the fairway, which is the challenge with rollers, of course. But here we got a pretty good one. Still pretty close to the center of the fairway and 511 feet. Now, if you have a downhill situation, I have seen rollers go 750 feet. So it can be the longest shot in the game. Now, to go forehand roller, we're going to go to the right of the center line about 30 degrees, somewhere about here. Same thing. Make sure it says roller. Pick our release angle, something like this. Now, the forehand sometimes is a little bit shorter, but with the roller, not quite as big an impact. As you can see, I actually got further with the forehand on that one. And that was probably due to the variance in the release angle. So that's the basic on throwing the rollers. Let's look at a couple holes where it might be useful. And it's most useful when you have a hole that requires a forehand as a righty, but you still want maximum distance because, an air shot in the game, the forehand is about 80% of the backhand. So if you're forced to throw a forehand, but you still want max distance and you think you can get away with it if you've got a lot of grass to play with, a roller might be the best option. It's also useful for cutting through a bunch of trees because it's easier to get a roller through a tree than an air shot typically. So let's take a look at some examples where I do or might want to use a roller. Oak Hill, hole 4 is one hole where you may want to use a roller. It used to be really advantageous before the introduction of the rives, but now you can get a rive forehand down pretty close to the basket. But in some adverse winds, a roller is still going to get you closer It's just a little, rollers are tricky getting the release angle right. But this was one where I tend to throw a roller still 100% of the time, usually because of just habit more than anything. So glide roll rive on the backhand. My aim point's about right here, and release angle about right here. See if we can get a good roller shot. It's a little inside perhaps, but oh no, it's going to straighten out. That's going to be very good. I actually had a leaner one time throwing a roller, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, 11 feet past the basket. That's pretty good. You can get close with an air shot, but it's hard to get that close. So that's one hole. Let's look at another. Cahoe Park, hole 2 is one where the roller is still a very popular play. Gives you a chance at the Albee, and it's a little risky. Um, it's still probably, I don't know, I want to say almost 50-50. It seems sometimes that you're going to roll into a tree, but the temptation to get the 2 is strong. So usually take the glide roll rive, and you can do default aim, but I like to bring it down and aim at that bush right there. A little bit less of air time off the tee, and then you can just pull almost straight out to the side and say a little prayer and hope you don't hit a tree. If you get around that bush right there, it's usually pretty good. And this one's going to get through, it looks like. Had a little weird skip that sent it off track a little bit, but looks like we'll have a shot at the deuce. There you go. 116 feet. Little uphill. And boom. So that is one good use of a roller. Look at a couple more. Alwood hole 6 is one that I throw a roller on 100%. And there's some various discs you can do it with. I still like the glide roll rive, just powered down. I go with the forehand roller, and I aim here. And I made another video on this. And then put the power disc right at the end of that first Wi-Fi band and let her go. And this usually follows the fairway very nicely and ends its roll right near the basket for the easy, reliable birdie. You can see it's curling around and 16 feet away for the almost tap in birdie. Nokia hole 12, the beast. This is one that I discovered during the roller challenge for this course, that the roller works pretty well, and it makes sense. It meets the criteria. We got a forehand line here that we really want to get max distance on, and we got a lot of trees, so it's a good fit for a roller, you would think. And it's also a chance to look at a sky roller shot, because you've got this little ditch here that we want to jump over before it starts rolling. So we'll take the glide roll rive. We'll go higher with our aim point to get that sky roller. And somewhere about right here. And we're going to go backhand roller and see how this looks. Jump over the ditch. This is looking pretty good. Oh, it's going to hit that one tree. And if it hadn't hit that tree, let's throw it one more time, see if we can avoid that. Maybe go a little bit, just a nudge further left. Slightly different release angle too. And I think that slightly different release angle killed that one. And this is where rollers are a little touchier with the release angle. So let's go the other direction here. See if we can get one good roller here. That might tilt to the right. There you go. I say I haven't thrown this one a whole lot, but I think I'm going to start. And I think this shot right there is Exhibit A on Y, 90 feet to the eagle. So that was a very good shot. I never get anywhere close to that with the forehand. So that was another great example where a roller can be beneficial. So I'll be practicing that one. Alwood, hole 8, and this will be the last one. This is one I used to throw a roller on a lot, but then they shortened the hole and the shape doesn't seem to fit the roller quite as nicely. But I still try it from time to time. Forehand roller, slide to the left, and see if we can get something that looks halfway decent here. If you can get it to work, you can get an eagle look. And that's not usually the path that it takes, but this one looks like it might work out. Oh, well, you can see the potential. Almost got down there for an eagle look. So, like I say, kind of going back to the air shot on this hole, but practice the roller because if you can get it dialed in, you can get an eagle look. But like I said, the shape with the shorter distance now just doesn't seem to fit. So, all right, that's a look at rollers. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something, and we'll see you around the valley.